I don't think I've ever really spoken here except for 3 minutes or something, and certainly not in this capacity. But as he said, we're moving 50 times faster. And what that means is that many of us, whatever role we were playing, we are going to have to step it up and take on bigger roles. Does that make sense? If we're going to get to that pace. That's logical, right? Because there's no spook God, is there? We waited on that spook God for quite some time. Has anyone knocked on your doors and paid your bills yet? So if you keep waiting, they won't get paid, right? And ultimately, that's why we're dealing with the subject of management. It's to get right into that real world space that we all live in, right? The class itself is only 4 weeks. It's going to come and go. So it may seem like a lot now, the management class. Then the dialogue class is about 4 classes also. It's a brief period of time. So it will be important for everyone to fully engage those classes while they happen, because it's going to go right by just like that. If it's not internalized and used, then it's pointless. Does that make sense? It's pointless. I mean, that means this was a waste. So the value of it will be in your taking notes each Tuesday. So maybe we're used to preaching. This is a little different. Bring a notepad for all the mosques around the country, and you can't take notes. You got to take notes on Tuesdays, okay? You should take notes, period. But somehow we've gotten so far from learning, we're teaching people not to take notes. When 85% of what you hear, you will forget before the night is over. And the remaining 15%, about 12% of that, you'll forget by the next week. And then you'll bump into somebody and say, man, you should have been there Tuesday, brother was teaching. And then they'll say, really, what did he teach? You say, it was powerful. That's all you can remember, is how it made you feel, right? But you can't remember a point, you see? So that's why it's important to take notes. The second point that's important is we heard the minister say it would be opened up to the general population. Is that a beautiful thing or what? That's not going to happen if you don't promote it. So it's open, but will anyone watch it? That's going to be up to all of us. You see? We can have 10,000 watching it in the mosque, 50,000 watching it across the world. The 50,000 will begin to look at us a little bit differently. Oh, that's how they... Then when you go out and you interact with those folk, they'll have a different interaction with you. Does that make sense? So that's the value in that. It's in many ways, it's a security measure to provide you with layers upon layers of support. So let all of us work to make that endeavor a success. That's not going to happen by itself, right? So that's important. So why management? Why are we going to bother with this? Like, some people think of it as some business subject. They don't view it as their subject. And we'll get into that in detail in the classes, because the first class will be just basic management in general, like a tool set, giving you the tools, a wrench, a hammer, a screwdriver, just giving you different tools that you can use. The second class will be about self-management. Self-management, your time, your resources, your abilities, self-management. The third class will be about family and home life, managing our families, our households, and our family life, right? And there is a difference. Your house could be wonderful. Family life on the decline, right? Because family life is how we're getting along and what's it like to be in the house. The house is just how it looks. Does that make sense? All of that has to be managed so that it's going the way you want it to go, right? And somebody has to determine where it's going. Then the final class will be organizational management. And that can apply to anything, your business, small or large, your mosque, your organization. You see? Organizational management. So it's just groups of people, managing groups of people. All right? So that's the class schedule. Now, the context of this class. Why now? Why is it important? How many of us have been hearing these presentations given by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan over the past several weeks? Okay, that's wonderful. So you've heard some of those dire statistics that's killing our young people, killing our community, right? That's the context. There's a context right now on the planet that's just wholesale making it possible or likely that millions of people will just be wiped off the earth. Can't you see that? You look at this perfect storm of the U.S. economy that's coming up now, where the dollar value is just on a landslide going down. You understand how that works, right? You make $1,000 and the dollar has fell 25%, you have now only made $750. That's your spending power now. It just went down. So people are feeling the pinch. Then you've got the housing prices, the housing market in crisis. And then you've got, I don't want to name call, but you've got some kind of president of this nation that's waging more and more war, which is raising more and more debt. You put all that together, you got an economic perfect storm. You got a problem. Is that right? You got a problem. That's just economically. We're not talking all the health statistics of how our people are dying, all the disease, the AIDS, the diabetes, the heart disease, the cancer, the lung cancer, the obesity. I mean, just go on and on. It'll just wear you out, won't it? Then that's health. Then you got drugs. Then you got the incarceration rates. Then you got 50% don't finish high school. And even if they did, how valuable was it in the first place? So you got half of nothing. Nah, maybe it's not that bad. But anyhow, you get the point, right? With the education. And it goes on and on and on. And I'm not trying to depress anybody, but the name of the management series is called Saving Ourselves. Saving ourselves. That's what this is about. If we don't wake up and get serious about saving ourselves, you won't be saved. Will you wait for a mystery God? Again? You already did it once. First 50 years of slavery, 100 years of slavery, 150 years of slavery, 200 years of slavery, 400 years? God will wait you out. Get up and do something for yourself. Isn't that our teaching? So God has already come and given us the revelation that you are the original people of the earth, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth. What? So ain't no need to wait right now. Either we learn to create that which we need, or we will be wiped off this earth. That's pretty cold, ain't it? Now that's the context. So we can choose to not embrace any of this if we want to. The alternative is what? Death. Thank you. Does that make sense? So it's really, you don't have to take notes. The heat is turned up on this planet right now. And if you don't know how to secure yourself and your family, you'll get cooked. You will have so many problems in your personal life, it will feel like you are drowning. And meanwhile, other people be passing right by you like nothing's wrong. Pushing a fat whip or a bit, right? Just looking at you. Life is rough for those people. You ever seen that? Because that's the way the world is going. There'll be people coming up and people going out. We are to be with those that rise, not with those that fall. There's a process by which that occurs. What is Islam? I would say if you look at our flag, our national, you see the sun, moon, and stars, right? Or after this meeting, you go outside, you look up in the sky, you're likely to see the moon and some stars. Who put those there? You say Allah. Yeah, but which Allah? That we don't know because we weren't there. But all that we see is put there by the original people. Did you know that? That's what that is. So the process here that we are talking about will be how to take the unseen, how to take our desires, how to take our goals, how to take the things we want to have, the things we want to be, the things we want to do, how to take all that potential and bring it out here in the physical world. So that it's not just a spook God, but it's a man and woman God. Do you get that? It's God in person. It's not just the spiritual. It's the spiritual in the physical, in the material. Does that make sense? We want heaven on earth. This is what we're taught. We don't want to get it after we die, do we? Because that might be a flim-flam, right? You'd be dead and say they lied. Then let me go back. No, that was it. You trusted the devil, he lied. And since nobody has come back to tell us they got it, why believe it's there? Why believe it's there? And truth be told, if it was milk and honey and robes, you can go to the store and get that. You don't even want that, because that ain't your idea of heaven. So I'm just being real. Go get it if you want it. You don't even want it. How do we know you don't want it? Because you don't go get it. So I'm not saying nothing I can't observe is already true. Does that make sense? We can look at one another and tell what we want. See? The seen bears witness to the what? Unseen. That's what that iceberg is all about. You see the tip of the iceberg, but it's all kind of stuff up under that made that come into being. Does that make sense? When I came in the mosque in the 80s, like the late 80s, we had this dichotomy, this thing going on, this polar thing going on, the spiritual and the material in the military. I don't know if that, we might have grown out of that by now, but at that time, that's the level we were on. I'm spiritual, I'm militant, I'm spiritual, like they were two opposite things that you had to pick. Are you spiritual or are you militant? You know, like that. But over time, I began to see, I was confused at first. I was like, well, I like both. I like both sides. Why I got to pick? But then as I looked closer into it, I realized I didn't have to pick, because God himself is both. See, you have to have the material because this is a material world. Now, then you have to have an unseen part to yourself, your mind, your values, your character, your spirit, all of that which gave birth to what it is people see. Does that make sense? So that's what this is going to be about, is our ability to make our reality real, to make it real. And that's it. That's what this class is about. So it's an important class, but at the same time, the real application of it will be whether or not our nation just goes to an entirely different level and it's visible. You don't have to preach about it. People can look at it and tell. Do you follow what I'm saying? At a certain point, you just can't keep selling people stuff in words. People need to what? That's it. Many times you hear the expression, seeing is believing. Because when people see it, they'll believe it. Won't they? That's what it means to be a common person. They believe what they look at. If you walk down in a $1,000 suit and jump out of a nice car, they're going to say he's rich. Seeing is what? So our ability to influence people will be so much easier when we represent that which we are talking about in physical form. Does that make sense? You won't have to do a whole lot of struggling to recruit somebody. They'll be asking you, how you get like that? Does that make sense? That's the approach we want to take with all of this. We want to embody what it is we're talking about and be so attractive in that regard that even while the world is in decline, we're on the ascension. That's the way things are actually going to happen. And they will play out like that in this world. The question for us is, which one are we lining up with? We're going to line up with the will of God and then watch us rise? Or will we just wander around like Negroes, getting scared and scattered and confused and acting like we don't have wisdom and making the same dumb mistakes that everybody else out here is making, and then wonder why we're in the same condition? See, there's no mystery God. You can sit and watch your watch all you want. You will never come through that door to save you. So this series is called the Saving Ourselves Management Series. One of the things, if you watch the video online, those videos, video classes, one of the things I say in there in the first class is you are only as good as the results that you get. That's an important statement to live by, to not lie to yourself. You are only as good as the results that you are actually getting. And that's it. That's a discipline to just accept that. So, reality has a lot to do with things, doesn't it? And what we will be attempting to do is a shift in our culture. I'm going to say it again. A shift in culture. So, well, what does that mean? Well, it means this. The culture of Islam, the culture of God, is actually being it is. Well, we're away from that right now. We're Negroes. So Negroes don't have the power to say being it is. That's God's power. The what? Maker. Yeah, that's what that is. Being it is. If you make it, you what? Own it. So you'll never want for anything because you can make and own anything you want whenever you want. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Now, you may not have confidence in that. You might be sitting there looking at me like, it ain't that easy, brother. You might be thinking that. Well, guess what? I observed that too. It ain't that easy until you get good at it. Like that, huh, brother? When you get better at it, it does get a little easier. So maybe your first goal might look big as can be, and then you go to do it, and it takes forever, but then that second one, it gets a little easier. And the third one gets a little easier. And before you know it, you will get in a groove. And then when you train your children in how to make their will real, then through your lineage, you will find the God power coming back through your family. How about that? So that's to that thought that I heard in the audience. We have to practice this stuff and then teach it to our children, and then over the generations. See, we're not just this one person standing here. We represent a lineage that goes back to God, that went down into the dumps and is on its way back up. We're like stock in a company that plummeted. The Dow Jones just fell 40,000 points. That's the Negro. Used to be the most valuable people on earth, then they just fell down into nothing. But, teach on the Joneses, come on. But if you look closely enough, you will find that this black man and woman in America, even though we look like we're crazy, among us are the greatest people right now on the planet Earth. And that's a fact. That's a fact. You can't name anybody great right now from France, China, England. You can't even think of anybody. Everybody great in every field right now is a so-called black American. Did you notice that? Nobody's created any worthwhile music on the planet in hundreds of years. They're playing the same music they played in ancient days, in Ireland, in China. That's old music. You're the only ones creating right now. You're the only ones creating anything. Driving corporate America, driving pop culture, driving sports, driving entertainment, driving comedy, driving every single industry, because the creative gene is buried in your DNA. That's where it is. You see? And so God has come now giving us a software package called the Supreme Wisdom to activate dormant genes that's already in your genetic makeup. Does that make sense? That's the way it is. People try and, I'm going to wrap it up. I know we're out of time. But this enemy has really tried to wipe black folk out. But that's why we were taught we are the tribe of Shabazz. And if you know these teachings, you know what that means. Shabazz means that which is not created and can't be destroyed. So no matter what you put on them, slavery, Jim Crow, lynching, segregation, poverty, heroin, crack, prisons, no education, AIDS, diabetes, the Negroes are still there. You see? So basically, you might as well just get comfortable. You ain't going nowhere, because you actually can't be wiped out for real. You just really can't. They're going to wear themselves out trying to figure out how to kill you. You make roaches look easy. It's a rough task. You're not getting rid of no Negroes. So we might as well just accept the fact that we're not going anywhere. This is our earth. So let's get serious about what we want to see. And let's learn this science of how to take our desires, our will, and our vision and bring it into reality. Is that right? That's all we're trying to do. So that's the point of the class. How many of our people should watch these classes? All of them. So just send your chain emails out. You know how you got these little dumb emails? If you don't send this, you're going to have 10 days of bad luck. Make up one of those. If you don't watch this class, you're going to go to hell. Some of you are going to do something like that. Whatever. Get the word out there. We're sending out stupid emails. Send this link out when you get it, okay? And make sure thousands of our people watch this, because it'll give them a better chance at surviving the fall of this world. So I thank you for listening, family, and I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. All praise is due to Allah. All right, I appreciate that, family. Just as we do these classes, we might need some assistance on the technical side with computer tech support. So if you are deeply knowledgeable about computers, you can email Brother Ahmed Muhammad at ACM, as in Michael, E as in Elijah, M, Muhammad like Muhammad, ACMEM at SB as in boy, C, global.net. So it's ACMEM at sbcglobal.net. And then you can help. Also, just a reminder, go to the Atonement website and watch the videos and promote the classes. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum.
We want to thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for these courses of study and for tonight's national class on lawful dialogue and management. All praises due to Allah. Yes, let's thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. All praises due to Allah. Let us thank again Brother Abdul Alim Muhammad for his hard work and his introduction tonight of the science of lawful dialogue. Let's give Brother Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad another warm round of applause. And tonight we were introduced what would be 12 weeks of Tuesday night classes on the lawful dialogue and management. And of course, you heard from our brother. Perhaps many of you had not heard from your brother before, but as you can see, he's very gifted and talented, and he's a reflection of what is in our nation. Let's give another warm round of applause for Brother Michael Muhammad. Come on, can you all, because they can't see you back there, and we're all over the nation. Brother Alim, if you could just come right here so they can see Brother Michael and Brother Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad. So we'll be back here next Tuesday. And we want to thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for the band that is already set up next door. Does anybody, you have a little appetite? I guess we can have a little night snack. It's not called the one meal a day, but it's just a little, just something, because we burned a lot of energy tonight. Thinking burns a lot of energy, you know. But the sisters have prepared some pizza. And always keep this in mind, because Master Farad Muhammad and the raising up of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and our beloved minister that is in our midst, they were born to defeat and end the world and the works of Satan. So if Muhammad said one learned Muslim is harder on who? Harder on who? Than 1,000 ignorant worshipers. So if we stay the process, then no matter what our numbers are today, what we didn't know yesterday, we shall know today and even more tomorrow, that by the end of this 12-week course, I hope that all of us will be learned Muslims, and gonna make it so hard on the devil. We're gonna make that devil run, devil run. So we ask all of our study groups and mosques, next Tuesday, if you had not prepared today, this is to be a night of learning and a night for fellowship. So in the mosques and study groups, next Tuesday, have some refreshments, have something for the believers. We're just going to spend a few minutes sharing, and let's just talk about what we learned tonight. That's what we're going to do here in Chicago, and we would like you to do that all over the country. So with that said, let's close with prayer. And tomorrow is Wednesday night, back at the university campus. That's what this is. It's going to school. Tomorrow it's what the Muslims believe. And we should be able to get right into the heart and the core of those 12 points, which is what? Number 12 itself. So that's tomorrow's discussion, beginning at 8 o'clock tomorrow. And then Friday, of course, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan will be back with us at 7:30 p.m., 8:30 on the East Coast. Thank you. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the day of judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve, and to Thee alone do we beseech for help. O Allah, guide us on the straight path, the path of those upon whom You have bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom Your wrath has been brought down, nor of those who go astray after they have heard Thy teachings. Say He, Allah is one. Allah is He on whom we all depend. He begets not, nor is He begotten, and there is none like Him. I bear witness that nothing and no one deserves to be served or worshipped beside Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the Messiah, the exalted Christ. And I further bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is their divine reminder, servant and warner among us. Ameen. So brothers and sisters, we will now go over to the gym for our social evening and fellowship, where we have refreshments and excellent pizza has been prepared, and let us enjoy the music and the band that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has provided for us this evening. Thank you.